Okay, so let's move to our sixth question. So it's to print revenue realized per city. Now, how much revenue was actually realized by each city? This is an important question because occupancy tells us how well room capacity is being utilized. But management also needs to understand the actual financial contribution coming from each location. And for this question, we are going back to the revenue with revenue realized because this represents the revenue the hotel ultimately retains. First, let's inspect the booking data. So we use the code head, which gives us the first 5 rows. Now, the purpose here is to identify whether the data set contains information regarding for our question. Now we can see booking level details such as booking ID, property ID, and dates. You can say check-in dates, checkout date, and revenue related information. That's revenue generated and revenue realized. Okay. So we already have the financial metric we want to analyze, but there's one problem. There's no city, as you can see in this table. There's no city column. So we know how much revenue each booking realized, but we don't know which city that booking belongs to. So so sorry. Ah, so sorry. Okay. So as there's no city column here, let's first find a city information. Uh, so what we do is we go to a data frame of hotels.head, and there, as you can see, we get the city column, right? So again, we have to so I create a new data frame, df bookings dot df bookings that dash all is equal to pd.merge bracket that is parenthesis df bookings comma df hotels on property ID. So now I'm using pd.merge to combine two data frames. This is df bookings and df hotels because we don't have the city column in the df bookings section table. Okay, and we are creating df bookings at all data frame altogether, which is going to have a merged data set of both the columns. Now, the most important thing here is we are merging it on the basis of property ID. Okay. Now, why property ID is important? This is exactly why IDs are so important in relational data. So the booking fact table doesn't need to repeatedly store the property name, hotel category, and city for every transaction. It simply stores the property ID, and then whenever we need those descriptive fields for analysis, we can connect the fact table with the hotel dimension using ID. So why you know, create like bookings all like, you know, this data frame? Because I store the merged results in the new data frame called bookings all, and this keeps our original DF bookings unchanged while giving us a richer analytical data set containing both booking measures and hotel information. And once again, I use head tree after the merge to validate the combination, if the combination worked correctly. And as you can see, um, we have the city column. So yeah, it worked perfectly. So last, what we do is we use the code groupby. We have used groupby with the new data frame which we have created. city and revenue realized dot sum. Now, df, the new data frame created plus group by city, this tells Pandas to divide all booking records into city level groups. So all Bangalore bookings are grouped together, all Delhi bookings together, followed by Mumbai and Hyderabad. So this tells Pandas that within each city, the particular metric I want to analyze is realized revenue, since we have mentioned realized revenue specifically. And finally, I use sum. Now, why we use sum here? This is a very important decision. In our occupancy analysis, we use mean, which is average, right? Because occupancy is a percentage and we wanted the average occupancy rate. Now, revenue is an additive metric. If one Mumbai booking realizes 10,000 and another realizes 15,000, total realized revenue from this booking is 25,000, right? 10,000 plus 15,000. So your sum is the correct aggregation because our question is how much revenue was realized in total by each city. So as you can see, the output shows 294 million, and there's like 420 million for Bangalore, 294 for Delhi, Hyderabad is around 325, and Mumbai is around 668 million. So yeah, Mumbai clearly has generated the highest total realized revenue among the four cities. Now you see this result becomes particularly interesting when we compare it with our previous occupancy analysis. Earlier, Delhi had the highest occupancy rate, right? You come here above, and if you see, Delhi had the highest occupancy rate. But here, after finding the revenue realized per city, we know that Mumbai has the highest total realized revenue. So these two KPIs are telling us different things. Now, occupancy tells us how efficiently available room capacity is being utilized. Revenue tells us the financial output generated by those bookings. A city can therefore have higher occupancy without necessarily producing the highest total revenue. So, why could Mumbai generate more revenue? So, at this stage, we should not jump to a single explanation. You see, Mumbai's higher revenue could potentially be influenced by several factors such as the name of properties, booking volume, room category mix, available room pricing, length of stay, or the proportion of higher value bookings. Now, this analysis tells us whether the revenue is coming from, but further analysis would be needed to understand exactly why Mumbai leads, right? So let's quickly summarize what we covered in this question. Our business question was how much revenue was realized by each city. First, we inspected the data frame booking using head and confirmed that it contains revenue realized but not city information. Then we inspected DF hotels and found the city along with the common key property ID. We used pd.merge with property ID to combine booking level revenue and hotel level city information. And validating the merge data frame, we used group by city to create city level groups. We selected revenue realized as our financial metric and use sum because revenue is additive, right? So our final insight was that Mumbai generated the highest total realized revenue at approximately 668.57 million, even though Delhi had like the strongest average occupancy in our early analysis. So the broader analytical lesson is that one KPI never tells the full business story. Occupancy and revenue measure different aspects of performance. So both need to be interpreted together. So anyway, we'll move on to the next question in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something from this.